So, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasant evening in Nigeria. And then, first of all, I want to just quickly apologize for the quick shift in the timing for today's program. Of course, big men, they are always very busy. Like, if you catch them, then you must have done a lot to ensure that you get a lot of their time, especially sparing an hour of their time is very, extremely, very difficult. So, it was meeting upon meeting upon meeting upon meeting. We were supposed to do this by 1. We shifted it to 3:30. Fortunately for us, six we are on, and then of course Dr. Tunji Nasir, Olatunji Nasir is with us. So, as a quick introduction, we needed to say congratulobia. Well, if you allow me use the word, because something good is happening to us in the veterinary profession. Our respected and prominent veterinarians are beginning to take leadership position in the world stage. And for me, that's very inspiring because to have somebody that we know that is part of us become a voice in the nation, I think it's extremely very, very, very inspiring. Today, we have, he wears many caps, but I will take my time to mention a few that I know, and then the few that I don't know, including the traditional title he's holding, he will be able to tell us. So, first of all, Dr. Olatunji Nasir is the CEO of Truth Miles Animal Hospital, one of the best animal hospitals we have, not just in Lagos, but in Nigeria. The first time I got into his animal hospital, I wanted to say, Dr. Tunji, when I grow up, I want to be like you. But, it's something every vet needs to pay attention to and need to pay a visit to. Well built, well organized, and then, of course, Truth My Animal Hospital is a pride to us in the veterinary profession. He also wears another bigger cap. This one, I think I really can't remember the number of countries in the Commonwealth, but he's the president Commonwealth Veterinary Association. Then, of course, he's also an elected member of the Veterinary Council Board, VCN, as we popularly refer to. And then now he's wearing another cap in the World Veterinary Association stage. Ladies and gentlemen, today is going to be an interesting masterclass, one that will make you smile, will make you happy, but I think one that will also make you proud. Let us welcome Dr. Olatunji Nasir. My God, the top, sir.
Oh my God.
Good to see you.
I don't know. Yes, I don't know whether the person you were talking about, but it's okay. I'm here on this stage at the moment now, and I want to thank the audience for finding time to be here. Well. I am Dr. Olatunji Nasir, as he has rightly introduced me, and like he said, uh, we were elected. Politicians who want to use the the article "we" into the Council of the World Veterinary Association. The announcement of the election results was made on Thursday, and it gladdens our heart that once again Nigeria is being represented at the right place that she belongs, so to say. By way of saying thank you to the to the moderator, that's what I will say as my opening statement.
Thank you so much, Dr. Olatunji Nasir. Good to have you around and good to hear this introduction. So let's start. What is World Veterinary Association and why should veterinarians in Nigeria care about this position that we will announce? And then what's it all about? What's the World Veterinary Association? Why should veterinarians care?
I think the World Veterinary Association is a federation of veterinary medical associations all over the world. And it's not just national associations, it also gathers as its members international and regional associations that are veterinary biased. They are all members. And you would see is a home of all national associations. It is the coordinating fulcrum for the veterinary profession in the world. This is where policies are enunciated. This is where a lot of things that are governing the practice of our profession are sort of engineered. And I think it's something that we should pay close attention to. It's an association that we should place close attention to, because by being a member of the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, by being a member of the Commonwealth Veterinary Medical Association, you are also a member of the WVA, because your national association by default is a member of the WVA. And then they say you should put your money where your mouth is being fed, one way or the other. If you are not part of the WVA, any country that is not part of the WVA is actually not taking part in the decision-making process or processes, as to what governs the veterinary profession. That is where everything is being done. That is where policies are being formed and everything. So I think as Nigerians and as veterinarians in Nigeria, we should ordinarily be very, very interested in what goes on, in the WVA, because the WVA works to promote animal health, animal welfare, and public health globally, because it thrives on a lot of partnerships. We have partnership. The WVA has partnership with the OIE, with the FAO, with the WHO, with the CVA, with WASABA, with mention all the organizations, in the whole world. They have partnership and they work together. So I think it's something that must be of importance to any national association to be a member of the WVA.
What I want to quickly ask now, Dr. Olatunji Nasir, so what you've said are all really very nice, and I see how important it is, right, for veterinarians to understand that there's a World Veterinary Association, there's COSAVA, there's Commonwealth Veterinary Association. But again, what do you think are the proposed benefits of this association? So let me still bring you back to the first question. Why should the average veterinarians care? What do
Yeah,
these associations offer? Because if we understand what they offer, then we will also know how to be on your neck. Now that you are a voice, now
yeah, yeah.
that you are a
I,
voice
I,
in the policy
I
or
think
in the
I think I
leadership
like the
position. Go ahead, sir.
yes. I think I like the angle that the question is coming from. Yes, I like the angle. You see, when I said the other time that this is a place where everything that governs the profession is being cooked, it's something that should interest everybody. Like, for example, there are very serious benefits for a national association to be a part of the WVA or the CVA. And I'll tell you the following. Number one, let's look at governance issues. How is your profession governed, even within your country yourself? The rules governing every profession, including the veterinary profession in Nigeria, are rules that are formulated from these global associations. This global association encourages national associations to use their platform, to use their name, to demand for the rights of the profession, to demand for how professionals within the space, will be treated. One way or the other, we have issues to deal with curriculum. We have issues to deal with the training and practice. We have issues to deal with governance, importation of drugs into countries, things like the issue of disease outbreaks, for example. Like the WVA, I know for sure, has a lot of policy statements that can control, that can guide, the administration of certain outbreaks, in Nigeria. For example, there are policy statements on the on avian influenza. There are policy statements on swine fever. There are policy statements on the university curriculum. There are policy statements on rabies. There are policy statements on leptospirosis. There are lots of policy statements that these organizations, these global organizations, will always bring out that will help you, see how well you can govern those things in your country when they do appear. For example, look at the issue of curriculum that we are struggling with. Because of the partnerships we have with OIE, everything that the OIE does, and we're in partnership with them, we also have an input into the whole thing. So it's a whole lot. If you do not belong to association, I don't know why you call yourself a veterinarian. And I like one thing, because by being a member of your national association, by being a responsible member of your national association, you are by default, a member of the CBA, a member of the WVA. Wasaba is a bit different, but by default you are. And then some of the things that these organizations do is, for example, let me look at, I'm the president of the CBA, for example, and I know what we do at the CBA. We're into a lot of governance issues. We're into a lot of disease prevention issues. We're into a lot of livelihood improvement issues in communities. When a lot. It's not just about going to work every day, go and do the syringe and do the needles and everything, or go and take care of the chicken or whatever. No, there are other things that are incumbent on your survival as a professional, in the space, that are being done by this organization in terms of policy setting. Policy setting. They don't just the policies that are governing our profession now didn't just fall from heaven. They were set by some of these associations.
One of the key things that you said that just struck me is the fact that there's a lot we can achieve when we realize that we are already part of this association, and we can stay together or stick together and cohesively see how these policies that are being formed for the betterment of the average veterinarian see the light of day. So maybe, Dr. Tinja, will you want to quickly? It's a master class. We're soon going to be celebrating your word. But what do you think? Why do you think veterinarians are really not aware of some of these good things and policies, World Veterinary Association? So I know we are beginning to get to know Nvme now very well. But why do you think veterinarians are really not aware of some of these good things happening to us in Nigeria?
Okay, in fact, it was a question that a lot of people had asked me in the last 3 or 4 days. That how come, And then I remember when I was elected as the president of the CVA about 2 years ago in Bangalore, India, at a conference there. It came to a lot of Nigerians, or a lot of my colleagues in Nigeria, as a shock. It was like, from where? How can he just come and become the CVA president? But they failed to realize the fact that before my ascension to the presidency of the CVA, I had been in the executive of the CVA for 12 years. For 12 solid years, I was in the CVA Executive Council, before I now ascended, well, let me call it the throne now, or the position of the CVA. And it is because of the fact, I think it's our fault, because a lot of people are not aware of the fact that some of these organizations are there. It is not by way of, the reasons are not far-fetched. Most of us do not even know the difference between Nvme and Veterinary Council of Nigeria, because I've had to explain that to a lot of vets. Shockingly, honestly, shockingly, the difference between VCN and the Nvme. So we don't know, we don't care to know what happens in our country, let alone what is happening outside, the country. I got to know about the CVA when I was in the University of Ibadan. because I knew a Nigerian then was occupying a very big post. I've forgotten his name now, but he was in public health department in the what's it? I will remember his name and I will say it. I got because at every NVMA function, he will report the CVA. At every NVMA function, you must always report the CVA activities of the CVA. So I kept asking, what is this CVA thing? It became Commonwealth Veterinary Association. And when I now became the secretary, and Dr. Arun Yusuf of blessed memory, who happens to be the first African councillor of the WVA, because I hear that some people were telling me, oh, you are the second Nigerian to be
Right. Well,
WVA executive. And I said, no, I am not the second Nigerian.
that was the publicity we
I'm the
made.
third. I'm the third. What did you say?
That was the publicity we made. We thought there are only two Nigerian vets that has been in that position.
No. When I was the secretary general of the Nvme, Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, and Dr. Arun Yusuf, our late president, was our president. He was actually elected the WVA Councillor for Africa,
Oh,
and he was on that post for 2 years.
oh,
Yes,
oh, oh.
yes. He was on that post for 2 years, and then it was after him that Dr. Enauro now became the council. But a lot of people don't, because at that time, the consciousness of the average Nigerian vet, has not been really aroused about the WVA or the CVA or whatever. So it's just a few of us who are like, oh, we knew there was, it's something called the CVA or the WVA, and then we were like, propagating the ideals of these associations within our space. And then we make people know, because I remember as far back as Arun presidency, I'm not sure of maybe Dr. Mrs. Lombin, but at least from Arun presidency, we had made it a point of duty to report the CVA, to report the WVA at our annual congresses. But I think the average vet in Nigeria does not really care, I'm sorry to say, about what happens globally. Because I have had to tell a lot of people in the last 2 days that, see, they have websites. Go to the website of the CVA, go to the website of the WVA. They are there. There are programs there. There are things you can get from there. Just go and see what they are doing, and then you can latch on those opportunities. So one way or the other, it is not the fault of the CVA or the WVA coming to Nigeria to propagate themselves. Rather, let us blame those of their representatives who have been in Nigeria. Like, for example, when Dr. Enauro was the Councillor for Africa, everybody got to know the WVA in Nigeria because of his immense contribution, because of the way he actually projected the ideals of that association. We got to know the WVA. Then when I became the president of the CVA, I'm sure a lot of people also know the CVA in Nigeria. But then beyond me, we have a councillor in Nigeria. We have country representatives in Nigeria who should also be doing this. But you will ask me, are they doing this? I don't know. Because we have councillors who are supposed to represent the CVA, who are supposed and the country rep for WVA. But the question is, what are they doing? How are they making sure that our members in the Nvme actually know about the existence of this global organization, and which by default anyway we are members.
All right, so I think that's a very interesting perspective. Now we are beginning to understand exactly what the WVA is. First of all, I think it was when you became CVA president that some of us were really aware of the activities that was happening in the Commonwealth Veterinary Association. More so now that you are now the WVA Councillor, Regional, International. Am I saying that correctly? Your position now, you're the Chancellor,
Let me tell you something. The
Regional and International. So maybe let's go to the title.
WVA,
For WVA, your new position now, you are the Chancellor,
yeah.
Regional and International Organization. What does that mean?
Okay, let me tell you exactly what it means. Like for WVA, like I told you, is a federation of associations and international organizations. And when we say associations, we mean like country national associations from countries all over the world. And then apart from that, it also abhors international organizations that are veterinary biased. For example, the CVA, of which I'm the president, is a member of WVA. There is there are African Veterinary Association, there's Federation of Asian Veterinary Association. So we have all these regional groups, continental association, regional association, then discipline-based, specialty-based associations. They are also members of the WVA in their own right. So I represent, I read, for example, okay, let me just tell you the structure of the WVA. Maybe you will understand. There is a General Assembly that comprises of country representatives, and then there is the WVA Council. The council has the president-elect, and the immediate past president, and then 14 councillors as its council members, who are like the executive members of the association. You don't have all those kind of secretary. No. You only have the president-elect, and then the immediate past president, and then these councillors are from the 6 continents, 2 of them from each continent. You remember the other time that Dr. Enaolu was councillor for Africa. There's another person from South Africa who was also a councillor for Africa. So there were 2. So that's 12. Then the remaining 2 are the position I represent now, representing international and regional organizations. So I speak for them now at the WVA Council. I speak for them. And then the other councillor is the councillor representing specialized veterinary disciplined organization. So when you have only pathologists, you have this and that, you have surgeons, you have everything. So it's an amalgam of everything. But my position is to speak for international organization and regional organization within the WVA Council. So in essence, that's my role, at the Council of the WVA.
Okay, Dr. Tunji Nasir, I want to, at this point, you know how people used to say congratulations and then they will hit the bell. Because, of course, by the time it was announced, we are all very proud of what you have done, both locally and what you are now doing internationally. You see, and we're proud of the voice that you're creating across board. And we know that with your presence in the WVA as a counselor for the regional and international organization, we think our voices in Nigeria will be better heard. So saying that, we want to, as a veterinary community, say congratulations to you, and to say that to whom much is given, much is expected. So let's go. Yes, exactly. So let's go into the details now, and I want to slightly maybe divert attention from the title. We will get to celebrate a lot more at the end of this meeting, but to ask you a few leadership questions. So what in your opinion do you think we need in Nigeria? Do we need more associations? Do we need more leadership? Do we need more followership? Because all these things should culminate into results. The veterinary profession needs to be better in Nigeria. So what do you think we need? And what should we expect that you will use this your new position to do for us in Nigeria specifically? So 2 questions in one. I want you to vary. What exactly do you think we need? Do we need more association? Do we need more leadership? Or do we need more followership? Because, the question is slightly, people could argue from different angles. People could say veterinarians are, I don't really want to use the word nonchalant, but people could say veterinarians are really not participating in what could really promote us. People could also say that the leaders we have are not really very good leaders. People could also argue that we have a lot of policy coming from association. Maybe what we need is enforcement. What's your view about which side of the equations are you? And then maybe after that, I will now ask you exactly what we should be expecting with your new position. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, in fact, it makes me so very emotional if I want to talk about the situation of the profession in Nigeria. And let me say that the founding fathers of this profession in this country have done a lot for us to make the profession to even be better than what it is now. For example, as Dr. Tunji Nasir, myself, I am not happy about our situation in the country at the moment because I know that we could have achieved better or much more, better mileage than where we are now. I look at the whole of Lagos. Let me look at Lagos. Don't let me even go farther from Lagos. How many X-ray machines do we have? There is none of us with a CT scan. There's none of us with an MRI. If you look at our clinics and our hospitals, sometimes I even see myself as a joke. A lot of people come to my place and say, "Oh, very nice," but I'm beating myself on a daily basis that I'm not where I should be. And then when I see people complacent with the kind of things that they have, I feel so very sad because we have not done enough. Truth be told, we have not done enough. We are not projecting the veterinary profession in Nigeria enough. We are not projecting, no, God. We're not projecting even our association. I mean, see, for any congress that we organize, I think maybe it was only in Kogi that we were able to pass more than 700 or 800. And then we were touted to have over 10,000. Granted the fact that let's say even 5,000 because people have died. Some people are not even involved in the profession any longer. But we don't even identify with our association. There are lots of Nigerian vets who will not introduce themselves as vets. They will rather stand and be introduced as a doctor. I don't do it. Even at the function I attended with my oga this afternoon, Dr. Abiade, I was sitting with a woman and she was like, "Oh, so who are you?" I said, "I'm a vet." He said, "Yes." "Animal doctor?" I said, "Yes, I'm a vet." I said, "Oh, that's nice." I said, "Yes." A lot of us will not want to do that. And I don't know why. Were we forced to study veterinary medicine, for example? Were we forced? Even if you were forced and you have spent 6 years as a student and you graduated, you allow yourself to be inducted, one way or the other, I think you should just assume that position and project this position very well. Now, do we need more associations? Yes and no. I think we need more specialist associations so that people can carve niches for themselves in specialty groups or subspecialty groups. I think we need that. But general associations, no. So, have we been having good leaders in the association? Yes, of course, we've been having good leaders. Have they been impactful? Well, the answer could be here, could be neither here nor there. But what I want to talk about much is that aspect of the followership. Like I said, how many of us attend our congresses? How many of us? The other day we were on a VCN oversight function in Lagos at a clinic. And like I said, that was where somebody was telling me a vet who had graduated about 5 years does not know the difference between Nvme and VCN. Isn't that a shame? I just lost interest in that exercise that day because this was a person I was supposed to be talking to and does not know the difference between Nvme and VCN. You understand? So for the profession in Nigeria, I think we still need a lot of things to do. People must be committed. And then the society, and I think that's our association's fault. Even the society, the government do not know exactly what we are here to do as veterinarians. They don't know. And it is because we have been blinking in the dark. We are publicity shy. For God's sake, that is why efforts of people like trying to put us on the map now is well appreciated. 2, 3 years, 4 years back, who could even think of the master class that you are doing, that you are bringing people to come and explain things to the veterinary community? So it pains me in my heart that we thought when Wole Soyinka was 50, about 30 years ago, I think I was about graduating from the UI, and he said at 50, theirs was a wasted generation. I'm beginning to believe now that even our own generation as veterinarian, I'm like 33 years in practice now. There are lots of us who are over 30, 40 years in practice. I'm beginning to think that is our generation not even a wasted generation, even within the profession itself? Situation whereby doctors now want to achieve what took you almost 15, 20 years to achieve. They want to achieve it within the next 2 months. Are we proud of ourselves this way? So I see us that we need a lot of rethinking, reorientation right from school. We need to go back to school and let the people even control the admission processes. What kind of students are they bringing into the veterinary profession? We need to know what are their qualifications. Are we coming to the profession to come and be seeking parity with the medical doctors? We cannot be proactive for once, because that one I get so annoyed when something is announced on the medical platform, and then that is when we will now say, of course we are doctors, we also need the same thing. Can't you think for once and say, okay, this is what we want? So I think we need to have a serious think tank about where we want this profession to be within the next 10 years. If we don't do that now, I don't know whether posterity will forgive those of us who are practitioners as at today. We need to take a lot of things. And I'm happy, let me say this before I drop this point. I'm happy that the leadership of the Veterinary Council of Nigeria as of today has realized that most of these things must be changed. And that is why I'm going to thank the president of the council, AIG Abubakar, Aisha Abubakar Baju, for setting up those ad hoc committees. I'm sure it was brought to the fore, and it was brought to the public. Ad hoc committees, of the council of, the one she set up for the various structures of the council, and I'm sure that by now the chairman of the white paper committee, that's Dr. Ghanaian Nauru, is working so assiduously to make sure that we have something. In that time, okay, we'll be able to review the curriculum, we'll be able to restructure the Veterinary Council of Nigeria itself, we'll be able to restructure the College of Veterinary Surgeons. We are considering internship for veterinary graduates. Well, a lot will come. So I just believe that, God willing, with the VCN being successful at what is currently being done now, maybe, just maybe, the veterinary profession will be where it should be. But for now, honestly, we need to still work hard.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tunji. It's just that uh, we might really not have time, but I'm very open to bringing most of the leaders that we have in the veterinary community up to discuss this very ideal. Where are we getting it wrong in the veterinary profession? I think there's a fundamental thing wrong with our training, right? Because if you leave school and you don't know the difference between VCN and Nvme, then one should also question the quality of your training. But again, there are several ways and several angles to look at this. So I'm sure there will soon be a masterclass where we'll have to discuss around this leadership thought to give everyone a perspective and also help us figure out a way to move forward. But so, what should we be expecting from you? with this new position and then with this new title. And then
Okay.
I'm hoping that. Go
Well,
ahead, sir.
I wouldn't want to like be like well, if I look at myself as a Nigerian, for example, because this position that I'm occupying, okay, that I will be occupying, because we are going to be sworn in March 30th in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. That's when we're going to be sworn in. So this position that I'm going to be occupying has responsibility to cater for the needs of international organizations and regional organizations within the WVA. You know, a lot of us have we have several mandates, different mandates from our international and regional organizations, and then we cannot all be speaking at the same time at the WVA. So my basic function is to collate the mandates and the concerns of each of these organizations, including the one that Nigeria is a member, the CBA, you know, and some other specialty-based organizations that veterinarians in Nigeria are members also. So, and I will be speaking on behalf of these organizations uh, about what they want for their members, about what they want for them. For example, there are issues of key statement, position statements on the use of ketamine, on the use of certain antibiotics, on the use of certain orphan drugs, on the use of so many things. You know, in some countries you cannot use ketamine; it's banned. You know, and in some countries there are certain types of drugs that are not useful. And then, but these are drugs that are very, very important to veterinarians. So WBA helps in this kind of matter by making policy statements. Associations bring concerns to the WBA, and then we tackle that. But I'm going to be their spokesperson for the next 2 years now, you know, and it's a responsibility because I have to like relate with a lot of associations across the world, you know, wherever they are coming from, be it in the US or the UK or Asia or wherever, you know what they want and be their spokesperson, you know. So I think it's an enormous responsibility on my shoulders for now. And I want to thank those who actually elected me because I even won on the first ballot. So, so I think it's a lot of responsibility that I'm going to shoulder. And then specifically in Nigeria, what do you expect from me? There are certain things that are of benefits that, for example, there are scholarships. And I'm announcing to veterinarians now. There are scholarships out there by WVA. There are scholarships by the partners of WVA that you can tap into. There are scholarships that you may want to apply for, and you need reference letters from us. And then we will say we know you, and then you are home and dry. You know, and then there are things that you want to attract to the country. For example, let's look at rabies advocacy and governance. For example, there are vaccine banks that can be guaranteed by the WVA for your country. There are other advocacy materials that can be given to your country that can be guaranteed by the WVA, by the CBA. There are so many things that you may not be able to approach your country, the authorities in your country, but you can latch, you know, and leverage on the membership of Nigerian Veterinary Organization, of the WVA, of the CBA, and we can speak for you. You know, sometimes when people from outside come to speak, the government listens. They may not listen to you, but they will listen to people coming from outside, people writing them from outside. So these are kind of things that we should just wake up to now, because we're just there and a lot of people are taking advantages of this thing, and we in Nigeria are not really taking advantages of some of these things. And I want to tell you that Nigeria is a very big voice at the WVA. It's a very, very big voice. The performance of Dr. Nauru has really even pushed us further. He was the policy committee chairman. You know, you can imagine, he chaired the policy committee. You know, and there are so many policies that they have worked on while he was the policy committee chairman. So there are lots of opportunities for us. It is just for us to like go to the website and whatever benefits that the website says, then as a Nigerian, you are entitled to it. It is not exclusive for those abroad alone, you know, because why? I mean, why would somebody like Aaron, Dr. Naru, myself, how did we get to the council? It was because we were engaging with them all the time. We're always engaging with them. We were attending the conferences and all the functions. For example, let me use this opportunity to invite Nigerians to the 37th WVA Congress between the 28th to 31st of March this year in Abu Dhabi. You're welcome. You're welcome. Everybody's welcome. So when you get there and then you network, you interact with people, you see a lot of benefits. Most of the businesses I do today, for example, I met partners, during conference attendance abroad. So one way or the other, I think we just have to seek out. Don't let us. We should not look at it as a way of things coming to us. Let us seek out. Let us seek for information. That is what that's what matters for me. You have to seek for information. You have to seek for relevance. Because if you blink in the dark, nobody sees you.
Dr. Olatunji Nasir. So let me say this, that you've been somebody I've worked closely with, both within committees and then outside committees. And then for the fact that you have done us proud in other spheres of life, including your private practice, and of course in the council chairing the committee for private practice. We know you will do us also extremely very proud in this new position. And so, on behalf of the veterinary community, we want to thank you for daring to take this kind of position. Some of us don't want extra trouble, right? Because again, the bigger the cap, the bigger the headache. But for daring to take up this responsibility, and then for also putting your head and your heart into this to ensuring that the veterinary community benefits from it. We're proud of this. We know you will do us proud. And then, of course, you're spending 2 years in this office. We know by the end of 2 years, we all must have traveled
It's
abroad.
supposed to be 222 to 220.
So we all must have gotten recommendation to travel abroad, right?
What did you say? What did you
I
just
think
say?
we all must have gotten recommendation to travel abroad. That's just a joke.
Well,
Anyway,
what
that we all must have gotten recommendation to travel
I know,
abroad.
but I understand. I just had it now because we're like breaking at the time.
Okay.
But let me tell you something. Beyond the position itself, beyond the position itself, I really want a lot of younger veterinarians because I started being a member of the CVA executive in my 30s. Honestly, so it is not a question of, for example, Dr. Ibrahim Ado is our counselor, is a CBA counselor for Nigeria. And let me make it an exclusive kind of news now. Very soon, a position will be announced for him from the CBA because he's a young man, and we have seen that he's pulling his weight within the CBA. And one way or the other, that has been recognized by the officers of the CBA. And then by the time somebody, maybe in another 2 or 3 weeks, and we just announce from the CBA, oh, Dr. Ibrahim Abdul, our former acting president, is now this, which I'm not going to disclose anyway for now. Some people will start saying, so from where? How did he start? But then the guy has been in the trenches for the past 4 or 5 years, working assiduously. So the bottom line is young veterinarians should seek. Okay, look at the grounds, Femi, that I'm not seeing your face and saying this. Look at the grounds that you are breaking in veterinary communication. You dare. And that is why you are breaking these grounds. So young veterinarians should not just sit within their space and say, okay, this is just for this category of people or that for the guy. No. Everybody, every one of us, we have equal chance. You can be somebody at the Nvme today. You can be somebody at the CBA today. You can be somebody at the WVA today. You can be somebody at WSAVA, the small animal veterinary association, or, globally. You can be anything. Just push in, and that is the message I want to pass tonight. Because it's not that it is exclusive reserve of certain people. No, today you can be, and I like the energy. I like the energy of some of us. In the last 24 hours, I know one or two people will be in Abu Dhabi with me, because they are already they've been asking for me. They are even trying to book flights now, just because of this position, because they said they didn't even know there was anything like this in the offing. So let us all come out and see what is being done outside. Then we can use that to even develop our own space here. But if we just sit and we think our father's farm is the best, then we haven't seen nothing yet. So I really want to say something that please, veterinarians all over this country, it is time that we reach out to our global. Let's be global citizens. Honestly, we just have to be global citizens. It's not. It's nothing that we're not getting anything from it. It's just that we have the passion to make the voice of the Nigerian to be heard. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Tunji Nasir. Let me quickly bring up some really very important congratulatory messages. The Dean, University of Ibadan, Professor Olufunke Oladevi says, congratulations, Dr. Nasir. We're super proud of you. Thank you so much, the Dean. Dr. So let me bring up these. Yes, Dr. Daniel Anuru, I think that's from Vet World, if I'm not mistaken, saying congratulations, Dr. Tunji Nasir.
That's what. Yeah,
I know
yeah,
a
yeah.
farmer who has just joined, Madam Ruth Shofolabo. Congratulations, more grace to carry on. I see a veterinarian, Dr. Temunoso David Jatao. No,
Can
I'm
I
coming
put on
live.
my
Okay, we are
blazer?
live. Oh, so I want to just quickly apologize for the very strong break in transmission. In Nigeria, we really know how to make miracles happen. But just that this miracle now happened and then it became better. Someone said in your mess, there's a message. So I want to also thank every one of us who stayed tuned. We had some break in internet and then, of course, in electricity. So we had to quickly switch location. So I was just reading while we went off, reading some congratulatory messages. I'm still going to be asking a few questions from Dr. Tunji Nasir, but just as a form of wrapping up. But let me go ahead and read some of those ones that I haven't read before we left. So I was talking about Dr. Jatau, who said, congratulations, sir. You are an inspiration to us all. Dr. Tunji Nasir, we are all very proud of you. Thank you so much for making yourself available. We have, one of our first outlier also joining this meeting, Dr. Nancy, saying congratulations, sir. The cap fits so well. I love that. Congratulations that the caps fit so well. We have another younger colleague, Dr. Edith Monica Isevo, saying congratulations, sir, and wishing you the very best of success. We have Dr. Kwada Asundowa saying that congratulations, Dr. Olatunji Nasir, for reaching us far. Well, of course, nobody will have gone this far without a measure of strength and leadership. Dr. Oladotun Fadipe, thank you also for constantly being on this masterclass, saying, Ogamio, congratulations to you once again. I'm just going to be reading. So I know this. Dr. Jumoke Ashafa saying, congratulations, sir. That is really very heartwarming. Dr. Dashe saying congratulations also, sir. We also have Dr. Umar. Let me read this. Dr. Umar Zakariayu saying congratulations. Pardon me if I mispronounce your name. Fantastic. We see Dr. Charles Ebe saying congratulations, Tinji. I'm glad I taught you how to lose and win elections. That's another statement from Dr. Charles Sibi, that he taught you how to win and lose election. And then, of course, Dr. Gani saying great development for Africa. This is one strong voice that must be heard. Congratulations, Dr. Tunji Nasir. We are proud of you. So that's
That's a story for another day.
okay. So of course, there's a lot of story to share in this. So, but again, what you realize that people are proud of you. So I want to say this as a way of probably trying to wrap up. There are so many expectations. People are expecting you to really make magic work. Although sometimes I usually tell people some of these things takes time. Having occupied a few leadership positions myself, I realized that the expectations could be high from the people who must have elected you or who are looking up to you. But again, the responsibilities are even a lot more higher. So maybe we want to also say that as we're wishing you congratulations, we're also praying for you that these new responsibilities that you are taking up will be, of course, to the benefit of the veterinary community in Nigeria, but it will also be to your own upliftment as a person. You've done this before in other capacity, and we know you can do this. So, Dr. Tunji Nasir, if there's a final word you want to say, uh, I think at this junction we want to hear from you, and then after the final word we'll also want you to, okay, no, maybe before the final word, maybe you should talk about the World Veterinary Association, the 37th Congress you talked about at Abu Dhabi, you said. Where do you say the Congress is happening, Dr. Tunji Nasser?
Yes, at Abu Dhabi, 28th to 31st of March.
Okay, so you want to talk about it
Yes.
and make a formal invitation to
Yeah, the Congress
veterinarians
is
in
happening in
Nigeria.
Abu Dhabi. It's the 37th. Actually, we're supposed to have one in Taiwan. Yes, I want to talk about it briefly so that because I want Nigerians to be there. Um, we were supposed to have the 37th annual General Congress in Taiwan last year, but because of the COVID situation, it was not held, physically. So this is still called the 37th because the 37th was not held. So it's taking place in Abu Dhabi. It's actually an hybrid conference. It's actually an hybrid conference. It's going to be on the 28th to the 1st, and the registration fee is $200 for us being WBA member. For those who are not WBA member, it's a little higher than that. So I want Nigerians to come. Let's go unwind in Abu Dhabi, and it's going to come with about 105 sessions of scientific deliberations. 105 scientific papers will be delivered within 3 days. So you can, and it cuts across a wide spectrum of topics that people will be interested in, from medicine to surgery to management practice and everything. So it's going to be a real bumper. Just come, just come. If you want to come, let me know. Let me know so that we can make an arrangement. Thankfully, visa should not be an issue to UAE. It's just like taking your Dubai visa. It's not an issue. So it's just for us to start booking our flights now. So I really want a lot of people to be in Abu Dhabi. And when you get there, honestly, you will see the reason why you just have to be, very alive to your responsibility as a veterinarian.
So what date? What date is it happening? What date is
I
it coming?
said March 28th to 31st of March.
All right.
28th. That's what I'm saying. On the 28th of March to 31st of March. It's just next month.
So
It's about 7 weeks from now. Yeah.
I'm wondering if you want to use, out of the excitement of this your new position, announce free ticket for all of us.
To go to Dubai now is not a joke, man. And let me tell you something. The position does not attract monetary, it does not attract monetary compensation anyway. Rather, some of us will also spend. I'm going there with my money anyway. You understand. So it's not a question of. I think it's about passion. It's about what you really want to put into the global community, not about what you want to sort of take out of it yourself. I think And for those of us who want to go to the conference, it's just because by the time we come back from the conference, we will not be the same because we will have been, we will have benefited from the lectures that we're going to be listening to, scientific lectures, organizational lectures, so many things, practice management and everything. So by the time you come back, you are not the same again. You want to go to the next one and the next one and the next one. And that's the way it is. Please, I enjoy, especially our younger colleagues. Just come, just come. You can buy your ticket, you can share accommodation and pay your registration. It's going to be that easy, and you're going to really enjoy yourself.
So this is an open call to all veterinarians that will be watching this masterclass. Dr. Olatunji Nasir is inviting us all to Abu Dhabi for the 37th annual World Veterinary Congress taking place within the 28th to 31st of March. Although he has technically declined the offer of sharing free tickets. But be that not be notwithstanding, we we will start gathering money, booking our tickets, reaching out to you, and ensuring that at least some of us make it. So just two more congratulations I've seen. Dr. Lydia Paul, that's the financial secretary of the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, saying, congratulations, sir. Thank you, Dr. Lydia. So we have Dr. Adebayo Asolo saying, more feathers to your wing. So that's that's from Dr.
That's my
Adebayo
friend.
Asolo.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Dr. Idrissa Madaki saying, good meeting, former chairman Nvme disciplinary committee. So I don't know whether you were formerly a disciplinary committee member in
Yes.
Nvme, but again, somebody has heartily recognized that. So let's hear a final word from you. So what
Yeah,
will
that is
you?
true. I was doing. I was the chairman of the Senate Committee of NVMe at the time. Yes.
So let's hear a final word from you, sir. Knowing the responsibility, knowing the excitement, knowing the trust the veterinary community has put on you, what would you want to say finally to the teaming audience who are watching this masterclass or who will be watching the replay after the live broadcast?
Yeah, I really want to appeal to the vet. And when I mean the vet now, I mean all veterinarians in Nigeria, for example. Let us rededicate ourselves to the ideals of our profession. Honestly, the profession in Nigeria, we have actually come a long way, but we still have more mileage to cover. Let us rededicate ourselves to our profession. Let us rededicate ourselves to our association. Let us rededicate ourselves to our council because we have a lot to gain if we do this. We have a lot to gain. Let us stop brickbats. Let us stop politics. Let us stop things that are negative, you know, and make sure that everything that is positive that we can actually project in this profession is projected. The world is watching us. I don't want people to be taking dogs away from Nigeria to go and look after them somewhere else, you know? So we should be able to know that this is the only profession that we have, and it is the only profession that we all eat from. So let us do things that will project the image of this profession. That's all I care about. Insofar that you prove to me that you're a good vet, I'm all for you. I can even cut my head for you because I know you're a good vet. And then it has to start from somewhere. Like I said the other time when I was trying to talk about my opinion of the profession, let us start from the point of even admitting students into the